Hello everyone. This is class 37 on Income Tax 2 for BCom 6th semester students. In today's class, we are going to understand the deductions that are applicable under section 80C. In previous class, we have seen point A and B of part 1. That is, point A was contribution to provident funds such as statutory provident fund, public provident fund, annuity superfund, etc. And we have also solved sums on provident fund, life insurance premium paid on family. In today's class, we are going to study further part of deductions that are applicable under section 80C. And we are also going to solve one combined sum on the same. So as we have seen, life insurance premium paid on family, and the family includes, if it is a male, assessee is male, the family includes his wife and children, and if the assessee is female, her family includes her husband and children. So any life insurance premium paid on mother, father, uncle, auntie, brother, sister's life is not eligible for deduction under section 80C. In short, for life insurance premium paid, if you want to claim deduction, you have to take life insurance policy on the name of your family, and family includes assessee, spouse and children only. Coming to next part, premium under group insurance scheme. Premium under group insurance scheme means if a group of individuals is insured under one single policy, then the premium paid on group insurance can be claimed as deduction under section 80C. So premium under group insurance scheme paid by assessee is eligible for deduction under section 80C. Next is amount paid in ULIP with UTI or LIC or other insurance. That means the amount paid by assessee in unit linked insurance plan is qualified for deduction, is fully qualified for deduction under section 80C. Next point, contribution to any annuity plan of LIC is fully deductible under section 80C. Now coming to point C, housing. Deposit under home loan account scheme of National Housing Bank. That means if the assessee has deposited in any scheme of the public sector company engaged in providing long-term finance for the sake of purchase or for the sake of construction of residential house, then that deposit amount is eligible for deduction under section 80C. Coming to next point, subscription to any deposit scheme. If assessee has subscribed to any deposit scheme, then he can claim deduction on the same subscription under section 80C. Next point is payment of cost of purchase or construction of new residential house can be claimed for deduction. Coming to D point, banked fixed deposit for a minimum of 5 years. That is, there are 2 points. A is fixed deposit for a minimum period of 5 years in a scheduled bank or post office is fully qualified for deduction. And the second is deposit in an account under the Senior Citizen Savings Scheme Rules 2004 are fully qualified for deduction under section 80C. Coming to point E, that is investments. Investments in NSE 8th issue is eligible for deduction under section 80C. Coming to point F, that is tuition fees paid for education of children. This point is very important, and in examination whenever you are asked a combined problem, combined 15 mark sum, you will be asked to solve or prepare a note on this particular point, that is F, tuition fees paid for education of children. Tuition fees does not mean the tuition fees that you pay to Kakide sir or Lengde sir. It is the tuition fees, the education fees that you pay in the college is meant by tuition fees paid for the education of children. Any tuition fees at the time of admission or thereafter in the school or college or university or any other educational institution situated in India for full-time education of 2 children. I think the rules are clear. You can claim deduction on tuition fees paid for the education of your children only if you are paying the tuition fees in school, college or university. Next rule is whatever course that you are taking has to be full-time course. Only then you can claim deduction under section 80C. And third most important point is you can claim deduction for any 2 children. Suppose you have 4 or 5 children, but you can claim deduction on tuition fees paid for any 2 children. So from assessee point of view, if you want to think, you have to choose those tuition fees paid by the assessee where the amounts are highest compared to other children, by which the tax liability decreases and post-tax income of the assessee increases. And the education has to be taken in India. Let us revise the rules of this. Tuition fees paid for education of children. Tuition fees can be paid to any 2 children. The educational institution should situate in India. You can pay fees in school, college or university. Only then you can claim deduction under section 80C. Next point is in Sukanya Samriddhi scheme. If you have deposited any amount in Sukanya Samriddhi scheme is made eligible for deduction under section 80C. This is what is theoretical part you had to study in this. Now we are going to solve one problem wherein it is a combined problem wherein all the above mentioned rules are applicable to the sum. That means the points that you have studied, we will be solving sum on the same. And the question is, before you see the solution, I request all the students to note down the sum first and then see the solution, because when I am solving the sum, the question will be on one page and the solution will be on another page. So if you note it down, it would be convenient for you to solve the sum. The question is, Mr. Srivastav, an employee of ABC Limited, furnishes the following particulars for the year ending 31/3/2020. Number 1. Deposited rupees 50,000 in post office for a term of 7 years. Second, purchased NSC of rupees 30,000 from post office. Third, his contribution to mutual fund of LIC is rupees 25,000. Then his contribution to unrecognized provident fund is 30,000 and an equal contribution is made by an employer. Next is repayment of principal amount of housing loan to life insurance company is rupees 30,000 during previous year, and the house is completed in the year 2010 and 11. Next, purchased bonds issued by NABARD rupees 20,000. Next is contribution to National Pension Scheme by the employee at 10% of the salary, which is rupees 20,000, and the equal amount is contributed by employer. So, compute the deduction under section 80CCE for the assessment year 2021. With the given above information, you are asked to compute the deduction under section 80 CCE. Let us start solving. Computation of deduction under section 80 CCE. I hope you have noted down the sum. I am directly going to solve it. I am not going to scroll it up and down again and again. So if you have noted down the sum, it is easier for you to understand the solution. First point given in the question is deposited rupees 50,000 is in post office for term of 7 years. Any amount, whether it is deposited in bank or in post office for more than a term of 5 years, is eligible for deduction under section 80C. Therefore, we are taking this deposited in post office for 7 years. The full amount is qualified for deduction and the amount is 50,000. Second point is purchased NSC of rupees 30,000 from post office. NSC 8th issue, if it is purchased, it is eligible for deduction. So, purchase of NSC. Amount given in the sum is 30,000. Coming to next, contribution to mutual fund. Contribution to mutual fund and the amount given is 25,000. Any contribution made in mutual fund is qualified for deduction. Coming to next point, his contribution to unrecognized provident fund. This is what we have studied in part 1A point, that is any contribution made in provident fund. The contribution made in recognized provident fund is eligible for deduction, wherein the contribution made in unrecognized provident fund is not deductible under section 80C. So in this sum, he has contributed in unrecognized provident fund. In particulars column, we are writing that he has contributed in unrecognized provident fund but in amount column we are writing nil because unrecognized provident fund is not eligible for deduction under section 80C. Next point, repayment of principal amount of housing loan to LIC. This amount is eligible for deduction. Repayment of housing loan. What is the amount of housing loan that is repaid? That is 30,000 rupees. Coming to sixth point, purchased bonds issued by NABARD. Purchased bonds issued by NABARD, National Bank for Agricultural and Rural Development, and the amount is 20,000. Next is contribution to National Pension Scheme by employee at 10% of salary, that is 20,000, and equal amount is contributed by the employer. This point is very important in the solution. See here, national pension scheme is taken by employee and he has contributed 10% of his salary, 20,000, and the same amount is contributed by the employer, the one who has appointed him on the job. He has contributed 20,000. Any amount contributed by employee, that is worker, in national pension scheme is deductible under section 80 CCD subsection 1, and any contribution made by employer for employee under the same scheme, under national pension scheme, is deductible under section 80 CCD subsection 1B. In simple, contribution made in national pension scheme by employee is deductible under section 80 CCD subsection 1, by employer 80 CCD subsection 1B. So first we take contribution by employee. National pension scheme contribution made by employee and show 80 CCD subsection 1. And the amount contributed is 20,000. Now we have to total it. After totaling it, we can take the additional deduction under section 80 CCD subsection 1B. That is, the contribution made by employer will be taken after deducting under section 80C. So the total qualifying amount if you have not seen the previous classes, just go through the previous classes wherein the format is explained in detail, wherein section 80 CCD is taken before qualifying deduction under section 80C, and section 80 CCD subsection 1B is taken after taking maximum limit of deduction of rupees 1,50,000 after section 80C. So the qualifying amount comes to 1,75,000. This total amount comes to 1,75,000. Next line. Now deduction under section 80C and CCD subsection 1 is, what is the maximum limit of deduction that you can claim under section 80C is 1,50,000. So 1,50,000 is qualified for deduction. Now after this, we can take deduction under section 80 CCD subsection 1B, that is NPS contribution made by employer, that is deduction under section 80 CCD subsection 1B. And what is the amount? It is same amount is contributed even by employer. Employee has contributed 20,000. Same amount is being contributed by employer, that is 20,000 rupees. Now you can write, yes, now you can take the total deduction, that is 1,50,000 is maximum limit of deduction and assessee can claim under section 80C and 80 CCD subsection 1, and NPS contribution made by employer is deductible additionally after the maximum limit of 1,50,000, that is under section 80 CCD subsection 1B. Therefore, the total deduction is 1,70,000. I hope you have understood the sum as well as theory that is taught in today's class. In next class, we are going to solve question paper problems that have been appeared in RCOB examination, which is also given in the illustration of the textbook of Dr. R.V. Dewan.